Hi everyone, welcome to the January card class with MC2-Michele's Creative Corner. We have 4 Valentine cards or love cards today. They don't have to be Valentine cards. And we are going to feature the Lots of Heart bundle. And it is in the mini catalog that is live now through the, I just had that date in my head, through June. Okay, so it goes all the way to the end of June. So that's awesome. That's a little longer than normal. And it's also celebration, which means with every $50 order that you place, you earn a celebration selection from this brochure. And if you've been tuning in to my Facebook Lives on Mondays, then you have seen a few of these products spotlighted. Now, I missed this Monday. I had a migraine, but I will make it up because we are featuring the Flower and Field Designer Series paper. Oh gosh, now I gotta check that. Let's see which way that is. Flower and Field Designer Series paper and the Touch of Ink stamp set. So that will be over on the Facebook page, MC2-Michele's Creative Corner. All right, so I'm going to turn the camera down and show you a little bit about what we've got going on. Actually, I'm not turning the camera down. I'm switching cameras. I don't know. I got so used to the language and saying I'm turning it down. Okay, so I want to show you what we're working with today. And it is towards the front of the catalog. So it's right here. This is the Lots of Heart bundle. And these dies are super cute. Let me see if I can... I don't think I set those out. I'm sorry. I thought I had all this organized, only to find that maybe I don't. Oh, sorry. Nuts. All right. Bear with me, please. Thank you. Okay. I think it's that one. Okay. So let me show you the dies. I keep intending to have samples of those already cut out. So you have this adorable heart. Okay, I used that a bunch. This scallop lace heart. And I'm trying to think. You have this little XOXO. I used that on a couple of them. Then this little smaller heart. This one cuts out a frame. Okay, did not use that on our card, but I have it sitting right here on the edge of my workspace so that I can play with it a little more. A tiny little heart, and then this little border. My friend Daniela used this last night on a card, and I can't tell you, I am so ready to case that card. It's adorable. And then you've got some flowers. We are going to use this die that is a floral image cut out the shape of a heart. This does not cut out an actual heart. It just adds little punch marks, like tin punching. Do you remember that? But it fits inside this one so that you could either use this as an embellishment within your cardstock, or you could actually cut it out. So lots of options with this. I am not a huge heart lover. I am a circle lover, but I do. We got married in February. Our anniversary is the 4th of February. So we don't typically do Valentine's Day, but we do celebrate our anniversary. And I just like, I like these sentiments. You're all heart, just a little note. Sent with lots of heart. My heart smiles just thinking about you, and thank you. And this pattern is just beautiful. So that's what we're working with today. There are lots of other heart or love stamp sets in the catalog. This one, I'm actually going to make some of these this weekend. The hearts and kisses. It has a punch that goes with it, and it punches out the lips and a little heart. But I think that's just fun to send some galentines. This suite is just stunning. I'm actually going to feature some of this in next week's monthly card club, and we're going to use this paper, the reverse side, the B side, if you will, the pattern side. We're not using the floral side, and the black matte dots. But this, I love this combination of pink and black. Always makes me think of my college roommate. After we graduated, she had an apartment that she decorated in pink and black, and it was kind of retro. And I just, yeah, I love that. So anyway, all 4 of these bundles are in the mini catalog. These little treat boxes, you probably saw me put that together. You actually don't have to use adhesive at all. This ribbon we're going to use today, and we're going to use these little heart embellishments today. And actually, you know what? We're using some of this as well. So I guess we are using more of the entire, because we're using this paper here. It is the Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. Okay, so let's start stamping. I lost my thought. I'll come back to that. Maybe. I have to figure out what it was in order to come back to it, but let's see if I can do that. And always, when you start trying to do this, your nose runs. Okay, I wanted to do this one first because we're going to use the Stamparatus on some of the other cards, but we don't need it for this one. So I've already got my ribbon cut. Now what I want you to notice about this ribbon, let me see if I can get it up close enough in the light. Challenges here. Okay, so you can see it's all sparkly on this side, and then this side is just a sheen to it. And I love that. In fact, I used it both ways. On this card, we used kind of the sheen side, and then on this one, we used the sparkly. Now, that's the way I did it. You do it however you want to do it. And okay, so here's the outside of our card, and then here is the inside. My heart just, darn it, my heart smiles just thinking about you. All stamping. So super, super fun. I've got a Rococo Rose card base, and then a Blushing Bride layer, and then I have a white layer for on top. That's where we're going to stamp, and I have a white layer for inside, and we're going to stamp on that as well. And then I always encourage you to stamp your envelopes. Excuse me. So I cut my cards almost always in this manner. So it is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then the next layer, you just come in 1/4 inch for the standard card. So this layer is 4 by 5 1/4, and then this layer is 3 3/4 by 5. And to make it easier, I just did the inside piece the same size, and that way we don't have to worry about stamping on the wrong one. All right, so I'm going to get this piece out, set these aside, keep this right here, and I'm going to get out the 2 heart stamp sets. Now, I always keep my templates in my stamp case, and that's what I use with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to use, so I've got a D block for both of these hearts. Now this will post this afternoon, but I'm actually filming it this morning because I'm going to be traveling this afternoon. Now, with these long photopolymer stamps, you can make this a curved. I mean, if you wanted that to curve like a rainbow, you could. Which also means that if you want it straight, you need to be aware that it could flop around. So most times I place my stamps onto my blocks. With these, I don't, because it would be too easy for me to curve it inadvertently. If I just let this kind of fall down, it's going to fall down pretty straight. And we'll test that. This block needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to just test that on my grid paper here and see, well, you know what? It didn't actually do that. So to get this straight, I might actually line it up on my grid paper and push it down. They're sticky, so I think I can get it to stick, and then I'll come back and pick it up with my block. Okay, and then I need my heart, smiles, just thinking about you, and that should fit on a D block. All right, so I've got my stamps ready for this card. I'll put my stamp case over there. These two are the inside. We'll do those last. These hearts are kind of fun. So, you all still see that? I keep knocking this crooked. I'm sorry. It probably makes you want to turn your screen. All right, so I'm just lining up. Actually, what I normally do, let me scoot this over so you can see. I love this in color grid paper for many reasons. For one, the contrast helps me see this better, but I think it helps me find the centers so much faster because it's really easy to see. I've got 4 blocks over here, I got 3 1/4 over here, or 3 1/2, so I can just scoot this over to get this centered, and now I know that this is my center. So when I stamp this center heart, it's much easier to find the center. All right, and that center one, I am going to stamp in Rococo Rose. My Blushing Bride is well inked right now, so you don't see the distinction really a lot on this card, in these colors, but there is a distinction. So I'm going to stamp this beautiful pattern heart in Rococo Rose. Okay, I can see it's photopolymer, so I can see that it's well inked, or I can see that it's not well inked. Okay. Now I could do this with the Stamparatus, of course, and I don't have to be, dead center. I'm not that picky. Now, when you are stamping a relatively solid image, you probably want to do something that I did not do this time. I would encourage you to use the silicone mat or the paper piercing mat to give a little cushion to these photopolymer stamps. So that's my caveat. So if I don't get a good image, that's what I'm going to blame it on. Now I'm also on a glass mat, which does help provide some cushion. All right, so I am happy with the way that turned out. And the way I did this the first time, I did this center row, and then I filled in the rest. So we're going to stamp Blushing Bride in our plaid, with our plaid stamp. So I'm not cleaning this because I'm not changing colors on the same stamp. All right, so then I'm going to come, and again, it's pretty easy to see how I'm going to stack these hearts. And give your stamp a few seconds while you apply even pressure to make that transfer. It's very important with photopolymer. Okay, I'm going to move this over just a bit because I don't want to get ink on it. And now once I've done these, the rest of them just fall into place. Okay, so my pattern has the Rococo Rose pattern coming this way, and then the plaid coming more this way. But because they're so close together, that's not, it's not a jump out at you pattern. I think I can move this back on. I apologize, my paper just keeps sliding around. And I'm just going to snug this in. I just want to make sure that I do want to stay straight though. looks like I need to re-ink my Rococo Rose. Okay, there's that one. And then, let's see. I'm trying to decide what's the next easiest one to kind of alternating. It is working pretty well. I don't even have any embellishments on this card other than the ribbon. So it's so much fun. And you could be really, you could have a lot of fun with the pattern. You know, you don't have to worry about it being straight like I am here. Or I'm not worrying. I'm just being careful. Okay, then I'm going to come and do this one next. For some reason, it's easier to see the pattern on the right than the left. It's kind of like making a turn in your car. All right. I know this is nuts. I'm just kind of trying to keep this straight. Okay, that'll work. All right, that is the last of the Blushing Bride, so I will clean that. So I chose to do 2 pink cards and 2 red and black. If I'm honest, I kind of prefer the red and black, but so I was telling you about the cards Daniela made last night. She actually did a purple, and then I'm not sure what blue she used. Might have been Coastal Cabana, but gorgeous. Okay, so that is our card front, and then we have the inside. And I'm going to do this in Rococo Rose. I did my hearts first. If you don't stamp with grid paper, I encourage you to. Well, at least give it a try. If you come to my classes, whenever we are able to have in-person classes again, I do always have grid paper down to help us. Okay, this is Rococo Rose, and I am just going to follow along about there. And I'll slide this up. And I'll do the same thing. I'll put the edge on a line, and then I'll come 1 block in with the stamp. Oh my gosh, I've got ink on my finger. I've just transferred it all to my card. Ugh. Well, okay. Let's try that on side B and see if I can avoid getting ink. Oh, I've already got ink on the bottom. What have I done? Okay, well, we're going with this one. This is the one that you send to your mom because she loves it anyway, right? Just like when you were in school, any art you give your mom, she's so happy with. Okay, so then let's clean these. So I made a couple of changes to how the card class, the monthly card class works, recognizing that we're still going to be virtual for a little while. I gave you lots of options. So everyone seems to prefer getting 8 cards, 2 of each design. So with that in mind, we're going with that model. So for $20, you may purchase a class kit, prepped cards, 8 prepped cards, 2 of each design. You can pick those up at my porch. If you need the kit mailed to you, I will do that for $25. The better deal is to place an order. If you place a $30 order, then I will mail you the 8 prepped cards. If you place a $50 order, then I will send you the 8 prepped cards and an embellishment, a current embellishment, and of course, right now, you'll get to choose a celebration item with your order. So the website and current host code are posted there in the left corner. So you can place your order online. Now, I do encourage you to verify that you are stamping with me, if that's your intention. If you don't stamp with me, you don't get the rewards that I'm offering. But there are a couple of little glitches in the system, and it doesn't always, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes you end up on a different demonstrator's website. So you should be able to see that your demonstrator it should say your host code. You should have a few different places that it tells you you're shopping with me. If you ever don't notice this right away and your order is placed and you want to change it, we can reach out to demonstrator support and get that changed. All right, so now I'm just going to put this down. I usually put my ribbon just with glue dots. I don't glue down the ribbon all the way across because I'm going to add a second piece of ribbon to tie that little knot. And I've turned it so that it is the sheen side up rather than the sparkle. And just making a cheater bow. And then I'm going to tape this down. I have been working on my website recently, and I'm pretty excited that I'm going to have that up and running pretty soon. You can go check it out now, although it's pretty bare bones, and it might be disappointing to you, but you have no idea. I've really been working on this, but it's real simple. It's MicheleSalcho.com. Of course, you have to remember that Michelle just has one L. Come on, get your fingers there. There it goes. So I'm just trying to tie this so that it went so well the first time. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter if which side pops up, but then I'm just going to trim it. And there you go. Okay, boo-boo and all. Okay, so card number 1 in the books. Let me just slide that back in here so I can create a tutorial. Maybe I won't. All right, so the next one I thought we should do is this one. So this one has a Sahara sand base. Then I did cut this one the other way. So a Sahara sand base, it's going to go this way. Then I cut out a white scallop trim heart, a silver foil heart. Then I cut this out in white. Right. The champagne foil would be really pretty. I couldn't find my champagne foil. And then I've got a piece of that specialty designer series paper and a white liner for the inside. And I just stamped the little flowers in the corner on the inside. So it's just a little note. So if you don't send Valentines, these cards still work for you. I need a 1/2-inch strip to stamp out just a little note. Nope, that's not the right one. Maybe I should actually look at the greetings. There it is. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that I typically put my greetings on the block cattywampus for a reason, so that my eye follows the stamp and not the edge of the block. Now, did I stamp this in? Well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter whether we stamp in Blushing Bride or Rococo Rose. I think I am going to go in Blushing Bride, but either would work. So I'm going to stamp this there. That might be a little crooked. I'm okay with that. Oh, I did not get out the little hearts, the little flowers, the little hearts. It's a little early here. I just thought these were sweet. Something sweet to do on your envelope too. Okay, so I'm looking to see if I have an envelope. I do not. I have a huge mess on my desk. I hope the camera doesn't drop and you see all of this. That would be so embarrassing. I wanted to get this done last night, but that didn't happen. Scissors. I'm just going to cut this kind of at an angle. These little 1/2-inch strips are created when you trim your cardstock for your layers. I save those. Like every good crafter, I have 100 pounds of scraps. All right, and I'm using the Seal Plus to adhere my layers. And I've had some people ask, I typically hold this on the sides. Okay, so it's a soft hold, it's a soft touch. And then I pull back and then break it. Kind of roll my wrist over and break it. I am very much a Tombow liquid glue user. But when the Seal was released last summer, several people had questions. It didn't seem to work just right for them, and I decided that I would use the Seal so that I could offer some tips. If I didn't use it, I wouldn't know how to help you with your struggles with it, if you had any. All right, and I'm just going to add a couple of glue dots to this. Okay. And then this just fits over the silver foil. Gorgeous. And then I'm going to pop this on dimensionals onto this guy. And then I'll use dimensionals to put that onto the card. So this one is pretty quick because all the prep is done for you. And glue dots again. Okay, and then I'll put this down. This is not a real firm designer series paper, and it's only single-sided. Sometimes I do I let designer series paper be a card base or a fun fold where both sides show. This is not one that you would do that with. I love actually that the designer series papers come in different weights, because there are some things that you wouldn't do with a heavy weight, and you need that lightweight. How's my time? Okay. And put that like so. Then begin. And this is why I don't glue my ribbon all the way across, is because I'm going to slide a piece under. Usually if I'm tying a bow, it's a two-piece, or if I'm doing a knot like this, it's a two-piece. And if I've glued that down, then obviously I can't slide the ribbon back under. And just going to add, I'm actually going to add 2 to this, only because it's so close to that ribbon. But I want to make sure that it's not sticking to the ribbon. And I'm just going to trim that off just a little bit more. And there we have it. Card number 2. All right, now let's switch gears and get into the red and black. So I can set these guys aside. I think I've cleaned everything. We're going to need the Stamparatus for this. Let's do this one first. Okay, get my pieces out. All right, and so for my greeting, I am going to stamp my heart smiles, thinking about you. So that is, that's this one. And I'm going to do that in basic Memento black. My black is, we've got a lot of suction on it. All right. And this is a 3/4 inch strip of Whisper White, or white. Okay, and then on the inside, so this one is still that same 4 1/4 by 11, but it is scored twice. It is scored at 5 1/2 and at 6 1/2, depending on which way you go. You can score it at 4 1/2 and 5 1/2, or 5 1/2 and 6 1/2. Doesn't matter. Just 2 scores, 1 inch from the other. And the inside, I just stamped those running hearts in black. So we'll do that, and then the rest we're going to do on the Stamparatus. So we've already got our hearts on the block. And I sealed up my ink again. And actually I need to be careful that I've got this going the right way, because it is slightly different. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it this way. And again, I'll line it up on one, and then I'll come one in. Okay, and then I'll line it up on one line. Sorry. There we go. So that's the inside, and that's the greeting. The next piece is on the Stamparatus. And that's fine. Trying to decide what I can get out of this space, because there's not enough space. A lot of things fighting for it. Okay, what I can do is I can get my hearts out. So I'm using both? No, I'm just using the one. I'm not paying attention. Nuts. Okay. So for the Stamparatus, I use my stamp set to stabilize my plate as I ink up the stamp. And for some reason, doesn't matter which way you turn it, but this is the way I typically do. So I start by placing my image somewhere over the left edge typically, and then I pick it up with the plate, and then I'm going to ink it up and stamp it down. Just going to make sure all of that is in the corner. All right, now I know where my image is going to be stamped. So I take the template from where I cut out my heart, and I'm going to grab a magnet from the back. So with the photopolymer stamps, you're going to use the foam that comes with your Stamparatus, right? I purchased an extra, this magnet sheet is from Stamp and Storage. And then I like to use the grid paper with that came with the Stamparatus. And then I'm sorry, I can't see this real well. So I just line up the template around the heart, and then I just put the heart piece inside. The other big benefit, other than, one of the other benefits is that should this image not be as solid as I want it to be, I can just re-ink it and stamp it again. It's more difficult to line things up a second time otherwise. But I am fine with that image, so I am not don't feel it's necessary to do it. Now, what I will do though is I'm going to go ahead and clean this with my chamois, and then I'll stamp the red one that I need. As long as I've got the Stamparatus out, we'll just go ahead and do the stamping for this card as well. So this card, we're going to stamp that plaid heart, and then we're going to stamp this other one. Just strip for my greeting, and I need these two. And we'll stamp this in real red. gorgeous. And then I need my template for the other one. So I'll clean this stamp. I can actually put it away. This one. And I need this template. So I'm just gonna skip this right here. Well, yeah. Pick it up and make sure I've got everything held down. Real red again. Need to be careful, I just got red on the edge of the paper. I'm going to clean that off before I have another card with a boo-boo. And I'll line this up. I made this hard on myself by stamping over the Stampin' Up! Logo. But I think that's got it. Okay. And that should be it for the Stamparatus. Put away. Okay. Sorry, I'm struggling to get all my stuff together. Okay, so now back to the one that we're working on. So we have stamped and set that aside. We're ready to assemble. So we have our inside piece. Okay, so remember that the score line does this. And we actually glue this down. Sometimes I put a piece of ribbon here, and I didn't this time. I let all the decoration be over here. But I am going to use the stronger adhesive, the Seal Plus. And again, it's the same technique. I don't have to roll my wrist for this one. I can pretty much just pick it up and break it. This has little tiny, I don't know, pieces that are perforated. Yeah, I gotta tell you, this is very odd doing this recorded so that I'm not getting any comments or anything. But I think this will allow me to post more videos, so I probably will do more like this. Alright, so you notice I did cut out a heart inside this because it was going to be hidden. So I'm not popping this up, I'm putting it down flat. And then I have a piece of black that I used the Scripty embossing folder and embossed. And I'm going to actually put this on dimensionals as well. And I love the side pieces when I do this. When I'm putting a large piece popped up. Okay. So I'll be anxious to see your comments, what you think about these. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, my head is right in this, but I can't see at all. The black on black on the rainy, cloudy morning. All right, and then we'll put this on dimensionals. And kind of centered. And then I'm going to trim this. You know, this is just an easy cut. And actually, I think I like that one up a bit. Yeah. There you go. Easy. All right, and then the last card. So has everybody remembered, everybody here, how you can get the card kits? So you can get them free with an order, or you can pay a flat fee. And there are different levels. And I will make sure that that gets posted with the video so that you know what the ordering special is. And this one I am going to use Scent with Lots of Heart. And I'll stamp that in real red, if I can find the real red. I kind of rocked that a little bit. Okay, swipe. What cardstock has two sides. And the goal is to stamp straight down and lift straight up. And let's see, did we do anything on the inside of this one? Oh, look, the XOXO. Surprise! And I am going to cut this off straight, or what we're going to tell ourselves is straight. Now, so I've got the card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Then I have a piece of white that is embossed with the subtle embossing folder. That is my favorite embossing folder. Then I have a piece the same size, so 4 by 5 1/4, and I cut out with that little XO, and I'm going to put that on the inside. All kinds of cute little notes you could do with this. Little lunchbox notes. Of course, nobody has a need to carry a lunchbox right now because just staying home. Maybe that would be a fun thing. And I popped this up on dimensionals as well, just for fun. Didn't have to throw them across the room, however. All right. So bingo is next Friday night. At this point, I have 3 spots open. And the packets are ready to go, but I won't be here to distribute them until Sunday. My husband is here, but he is working, so I've been trying to decide how to coordinate getting your packets if you want to get them before Sunday or Monday. So just reach out and we'll figure out what works best for you. Those that are those that need to be mailed will be mailed out today. So I've got 2 little hearts that I cut out. I'm going to put this one on dimensionals. And I'll put this on a dimensional. Okay, and then the little heart charm I will put on with a glue dot. So I just take the glue dot and I kind of roll it on my finger and transfer it to the charm. And I'm just going to put it right there. Right. There you go, card 4. All right, so let's take a look at all 4 of the cards. And here you go. So here is the January card class. I hope that you love these cards and that you'd like to make them. And you can comment below if you would like to receive a kit, and if I can help you place an order so that you can receive these card kits for free, then be sure and reach out and I'll be glad to help you. I hope that you have a very blessed day and a great weekend. Stay safe and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.